At that time, my father no sick. It's not really no money problem. That one normal because I thought okay lah. I mean I can care my family but. She got heart problem, diabetes, worse, high blood pressure, all this one. She also take medical. But we don't know how to care because I only can give money to help him. I need to pay what I sell the house, how much I get, I pay 80 over 1,000, I keep little money only. The parents' money I pay really. They say you sell the house, you pay the money back. After I take from the bank lah. The bank only after the last I cannot taruh, now I have to hold them about 60 to 70,000 balance must pay. After a year, I stay here, about 3 years later, my sister's husband come. Then they come and say also, the time you see no place, no sleep. They say, Lama, we help for just stay on the room in one side. Nearly 2,000 I can make lah. My hard working, but no one sheep, two sheep. I tell you no, I didn't working, you think enough sleep? You count my spend 600. My mother spent 1 week, one time must be 100. House bill, 300 plus. Water bill put 100 lah, 80 to 100 $. Other thing buying, gas, can put 200 lah. Money borrow and pay, all come to me. 1,350 every month for her. My husband, he got problem. It's all, but so these two are quarreling because need buy something, not enough, sometimes need buy top up card, this one, bank phone. He need ask the cash, no one. So they every day quarrel, the mostly police come in house. We are not together with them. They will come to quarrel with my mother.
Thank you. Ma, நீங்க உட்காருங்கம்மா.
Mr. Anandan was first referred to pay Siglap by HDB in January this year. The family lacked a long-term housing plan, so that's when we did a home visit to the family and engaged the family to figure out what was their situation that was preventing them from securing a permanent home. For Mr. Anandan, the circumstances were such that he ended up staying in the IRH for close to 4 years because even despite making multiple attempts to book a flat through HDB, he was just unsuccessful in booking a flat. We actually gave the HDB officers a heads up on what his background and situation has been like so far and the difficulties that he has been facing in securing a permanent home. Then we brought the family and the HDB officers together, and then the HDB officers can then discuss with the family on what is a suitable housing plan for them. When we first found out that the sister was stuck in an abusive relationship, we actually referred her to our Family Violence Specialist Center, which is in Ang Mo Kio. But at that point in time, she was not ready to deal with the issues of violence because she wanted us to work more on the housing issues. Right now, we are really in the process of coaching them also on how they can approach the different systems on their own and how they can explain to them their difficulties. They have been making good progress in the sense that they are able to communicate with the HDB officers by themselves, and they are able to go to the medical systems and get the necessary documents that are required to get them the help that they need. One day I can settle for what I believe this lah. But until now I still do the same thing lah.
I don't have the end. I want to settle this money to them one time to settle, free my mind to be free. Then I can take care of my mother peacefully.
I don't have a sense of belonging, you see. Well, the anxious thought in my head, it's all the basic needs, you know. When am I going to have my own flats, you know? Where do I get all the money to survive? Because of my dad, heavily in debts, not only in business debts, I think he's also gambling debts as well. And we took upon the decision to sold off the house just to help him. All the cash we actually passed to him. So we never got back a single cent at all. When we sold the house, my dad actually went separate ways. I did try to call him about after a week or so, but he actually switched off the phone. Since then, I lost contact with him. At that point of time also, I actually did mention to my elder brother that we don't even have a place to stay. So after some lengthy discussion, of course with his wife as well, and he decided to let us stay, I mean temporarily at his place.
My mother-in-law is at it again. Yeah, okay, yeah, bye.
你看你的桌子这么肮脏。
Mother, 你又要做了你又不高兴。
My sister-in-law doesn't really get along with my mom. She has been complaining to my brother, I mean, almost every night.
Dear, can you look at me when I'm talking to you?
My mom nagged at my brother, and also I wanted to cook for them, all this, because my sister-in-law doesn't really like it. They always like to do things themselves.
Look, both of you have been staying here. Have you tried to help us out?
Yeah.
My sister-in-law started to meddle into my own personal affairs, you see. So whatever I've done, she always liked to ask my brother a lot of questions about me. I actually did confront her, and I told her that this is not right for you to keep asking about my own personal life. Are you trying to imply that I shouldn't be allowed to stay in your place, or what? So let's be direct about it. So eventually this is what happened, and she said she don't feel comfortable that I'm staying with them.
妈，我们走。
After 2 years, you've been roaming around. So it makes me decided that I should go and approach welfare organization for help.
Because you have it's the same.
Leonard actually, he first came to us in late August this year. He first approached the MP for financial assistance, and he was told that he'll be referred to PayVet Siglap.
They actually find out everything of my current situation. They also found out about my monthly expenses as well, the rent and my daily expenses, my mom's medical conditions. They actually draft out a plan to propose to the social service. My mom is suffering from anemia. Medical expenses suddenly shoot up, so I had to fork out a large amount of money again. But my saving is actually running out at that point of time. When I was laid off, I only left a bit of saving. In fact, it's not enough to sustain for 2 months. When I approached IAN, I was actually waiting to sign a contract with my new job. My only worries at that point of time is running out of transport expenses.
When he came to us, he was in quite a dire situation. Even though he had secured a job, he didn't have the means to, go for training, to, go for his interviews and all this. He really didn't have the means to support his family before he received his first pay. So therefore, we recommended for interim urgent financial assistance.
It was just a temporary assistance scheme to tie me over for 2 months because I was in the process of starting my job, you see, at that point of time. So I think when the cash on hand really comes in handy at that point of time. I'm looking forward to my new flat, which is in 3 years' time. Definitely, I would like to save up as much as possible to get ready for the renovation. If I do have some spares, I have to keep it aside, just in case my mom needs any emergency.
We are also maybe looking into the possibility of skills upgrading and also training for Leonard, because we recognise that he has sufficient work experience and he is able to upgrade himself to earn better for the family. So as for Leonard's mother, she's a pioneer, so we hope that she'll be able to have a better understanding and also access the different systems, the different medical systems that are available for her in the community.
Back then, my mentality is always thinking about how to survive. Anxiety sometimes will creep into my mind. After 10 years, you tell yourself, the only way now for me is to keep looking up. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Always tell yourself that don't give up.
I have a children. If I lose hope, I'm disappointed, what happened to my children? When I go back home at night, 10 plus, uncle called me, Aziz, you can stay here. Lu anak, lu bini, go out. He said that way, 10 PM at night. So I get shocked. Why? Because he said cannot take it with my children behavior.
Anak saya mandi, dia budak-budak kecil, mula-mula dia mandi kali bersepak dia basah-basah lari-lari. Dia punya anak pun sama, tapi selalu yang kena marah anak saya. Tengah malam kami diusir, dihalau.
After I move out from a Rivervale Link, so I bring my family to find temporary place this area for temporary for 2 days. After I work about 8 PM at night, then I come set up a tent down here at night. Then morning, because my son that time school morning session, right? So morning, 6 AM in the morning, we go toilet, wash everything, then I pack everything. Then my wife will go to send my son to school. I go to work. After that, my wife go to his friend's house. My children want to sleep, I won't sleep, because this is open public, right? Very dangerous. So usually for tonight I never sleep. This is a block 46, unit number 03278. I will stay here until January 2015. That time I was share with another family. Also very tough, because you know why? Because I got 5 children. Another family, they have 3 children. So the hall we have to share with them. The kitchen we have to share. Only I will stay because I think master bedroom, the toilet. Toilet I'm using for my family. The kitchen toilet using for their family.
Yang ada masa susah tu sempat tidur. Jadi saya cuma minta untuk katil anak saya tidur. Cukup untuk katil aja. Dia macam tak mau tolong tau. Jadi terpaksa saya cakap office, saya komplain office, terus dia baru boleh tolong. Baru dia mau hap-hap lah. Mula-mula dia tak nahap tau. Anak saya semua, Umi tak tahan, saya tak tahan. Tidur susah, tak ada tempat tidur. Itu je.
This is a corridor area where my son used to do their homework with my son because inside they're very cramped. Once a while, my other neighbor children also join them to do their homework here.
I wake up 5:30, I take 3 bus to go to school and I reach there 7:15. I finish school at 1 o'clock and I reach home about 3.
I think they must have felt apprehensive when they first met us because we were not the first social workers that they had met while staying here. For this family, they were very, very clear on their goals. They wanted a house. Mr. Azizi wanted to increase his income and they wanted stability for the children. That was the most important thing. With regards to Mr. Azizi's oldest son, we could see that he was really struggling to manage. And at one point, he even contemplated to have his son drop out of school because he really just couldn't afford the fees. We made an installment plan with Mr. Azizi. We paid the school fees first, and then in subsequent months, he slowly paid us back. Mr. Azizi did express his interest to do a diploma course. Again, he had approached various systems for help, but he was always rejected. So we saw this as a positive thing that he wanted to upgrade himself. We highlighted his case during one of the stakeholders meeting and we pushed for it and they finally agreed to help link the family. So we then made the link to WDA.
I recommended him to try out the WSQ Advanced Certificate in Retail Supervision and gain entry into the industry and subsequently upgrade himself with the WSQ Diploma in Retail Management. Requirement for the Advanced Certificate was N levels, which fortunately the training provider was willing to accept his past working experience and our assessment results of our workplace literacy and numeracy tests. Mr. Azizi qualified for the Workfare Training Support Scheme, which allows a person to have 95% cost fee subsidy and a training allowance of $450 per hour. This helps Mr. Azizi to lower his training costs and also reduce his burden financially during the training itself.
I get the house key on the 22nd of January. Okay, I moved this house on 20th of January. Within a week, because of my family too excited, okay, and just to shift the new house. So on that period, we every night come here, clean, touch up. 28th, move out. Never think much. Everything decoration in my house, no contractor, all done my hand and my wife hand and my children.
Sengkang rumah sendiri, pasal saya 4 tahun setengah saya tak ada rumah, lontang lah. Tidur sadarlah. Susahnya tak terbayang, jangan sampai anak-anak saya merasakan susah macam saya. Itu yang paling saya nangis-nangis, terharu, bahagia. Pasal saya dah bersyukur sangat. Dah cukuplah 4 tahun setengah saya hidup terlontang-lantung dengan anak, dengan suami yang tak ada status yang tak betul.
Whether it is in rental flats, whether it is in any other aspects of where they live, what's important really is that the recognition that for us to help vulnerable families move out of vulnerability and deal with the crisis situation they were in, I would want to see the continuation of the coordinated support system that we have developed to help these families.
Now that housing is settled and he has completed his diploma course, his goal for himself is to get a higher paying job. When we first saw the couple, they were angry and they were stuck. There was little hope, yeah, but now their future is brighter, and especially so for the children. Mr. Azizi, he is a role model to his children.
If I can reach diploma, I set example for my children must have more than me.
Saya berhati-hati supaya saya dengan suami ni senantiasa macam ada perancang untuk kehidupan yang akan datang, untuk masa depan anak-anak dengan masa depan rumah tangga kami.